This is Comic Picks by the Glick, and here's your host, Jason Glick.
Yes, here I am. And as promised, here I am this week with my review of 100 Bullets. Because this series has been going on for over 8 years at DC's Vertigo imprint. And the final volume recently came out a couple weeks back, Wilt. And this is one of their legendary series. One of the series that helped make their name. Well, not really help make their name, but it's one of their most acclaimed series over the past several years. Sells very well in trade paperback. Sells over 10,000 copies in single issue form, which is an impressive feat for any Vertigo series these days. But it's one of the series that when you talk about Vertigo, we're doing the retrospective for Vertigo in 10, 20 years now. It's 100 Bullets is going to be one of the series that comes up as one of their crown jewels. Okay, because at its core, when you read the first volume, the series has a deceptively simple premise. You got this guy, Agent Graves, going around talking to people, offering them this suitcase with proof of the people, with proof showing going to people showing proof of how they were wronged, and then giving them this briefcase with evidence and 100 bullets plus a gun with untraceable ammunition. Basically allowed them to get away with murder to kill the person who wronged them before. Now, that's a solid premise. It's a great formula to set up. You can do just about anything with it. You can just have your story of the week showing the guy who was wronged at one point. Then you should have Agent Graves show up and then give him the suitcase with the 100 bullets on traceable ammunition and the gun, and just have him enact his vengeance in there. But it's never that simple, because it's never about the straight road to vengeance isn't always straight. It's always about this person wronged me, I gotta go shoot him, bang, he's dead. There's always something more going on at this point, and that's the great thing about 100 Bullets is even at the very beginning, they realize, as a writer, Brian Azzarello realizes that, hey, we've got to actually show more than what's going on here. Like the first character, Isabella Cordova, also known as Dizzy, basically is approached by Agent Graves after she's paroled from prison, and he tells her, okay, these are the cops who are responsible for killing your husband and your kid. What are you going to do about it? And she's smart enough to know that that just going up and killing these guys, that's not it. You have to find out what's going on. What's this real story behind this thing? And she also finds out that, hey, it turns out one of her oldest friends was also involved in this killing as well. And it's that kind of death that's a hallmark of the series. That the road to vengeance is never as clear and clear cut as it would seem. But even if that was it, and just showing that there's a twist to each turn of vengeance as Agent Graves shows up and gives you this suitcase, that's not it. That's not enough to produce a long running series. Even if this was a TV, you need something more. And that's where the matter of the Trust and the Minutemen come in. Because, as it turns out, Agent Graves was the head of the Minutemen, an elite security organization for this organization known as the Trust. They are 13 families who have basically been running America from behind the scenes ever since quote-unquote civilized people showed up on the North American continent. But several years ago, the Trust decided the Minutemen weren't necessary anymore, and they basically made their moves to kill off Agent Graves and the rest of his Minutemen. But as what I've said in some plot has stated, Agent Graves isn't dead, and neither are his Minutemen. In fact, a lot of the first part of the story basically involves Agent Graves reactivating a select few of his Minutemen in order to achieve his goals, because he's got a plan. He wants something from the Trust. What it isn't exactly clear, but it also gets more complicated when it turns out that he's also in bed with one of the head members of the Trust as well. And then you get the characters. You get Cole Burns, who is his right hand man, the kind of guy he needs to count on. You get Lano, who was the one guy who didn't have his memory wiped and sent to just be cool after this bad business in Atlantic City, because Atlantic City is where all the bad shit that went down between Graves and the Trust happened. And Lano, I gotta take a minute to talk about Lano, because Lano is a scary motherfucking dude. He's the kind of guy who he sees he's the kind of guy like you piss him off, he'll just like you do that, and he'll just spend the next couple of issues like raping your girlfriend and then just snapping your neck as soon as he gets a chance. I mean, like anything he does is like you're just gonna think it's like the worst thing ever. I mean, he'll kill you, he'll kill you, he'll rape your girl. It's like he'll just like go and start killing your friends. It's like scary, just like really, really creepy, scary stuff. And the fact that he later in the series, as he's actually offered a position in the trust in order to fight to help combat Graves, because Graves tries to kill him early on in the series, and that basically sets Lano against him for the rest of the series. And it's great fucking stuff to see him trying to take out Graves, but failing because Lano is all about the direct stuff. I mean, he would just go and beat the shit out of you, as opposed to just like planning a proper way to beat the crap out of you. It's like, I mean, and planning is always going to beat like the direct stuff every time. So it's sad seeing what happens to Lano, but even then, what happens to him in the end, you don't see what happens to the body. So he might still be alive. Anyway, but the thing is, the overall thrust about 100 Bullets. I mean, it's hard to get a grip on what the series is about overall, because it's just basically like Azzarello offering up. It's like offering up these stories. Like some of them have are just like just decent one shots. I mean, like, to his credit, he offers up a straight ass story of him, of a person who gets the suitcase, then goes and kills, like shoots all 100 bullets into her husband because he was abusing her daughter all this time. And that's the kind of straightforward thing you expect from this series. But then you also get other stories, like about the time he gives this one guy a suitcase, but it has the guy's picture inside, saying basically, you're responsible for fucking up your own life. What are you going to do about it? Just interesting twists like that. But overall, as it goes on, like once it gets to volume 4, Foregone Tomorrow, like you start being introduced to the trust and finding out, okay, this is the thrust of this series from here on out. It's basically like Graves and what remains of his Minutemen, like working against the trust. Or just, and then you find out later on that Graves is in bed with the trust, and not the trust, basically in bed with members of the trust in order to get what he wants. But overall, it's like the story, it's like, well, the thing about Azzarello is that he, when he writes, it's not always about telling you exactly what's going on. He always writes stories telling you, giving you just enough information, tell you what's going on just below the surface. So you read his stuff, and you realize, okay, this is what's going on, but this is what's actually going on. This is like the subtext, what's going on below, what's all the surface events of the story. And more than any other thing he's written, 100 Bullets pulls that stuff off extremely well. I mean, you read this up and you realize, okay, I see what's going on here, but this is what's actually going on between all the characters, and that's interesting. That's fascinating stuff. And Azzarello, true to form, keeps that up even though he offers up an introduction to the final volume of 100 Bullets, basically saying, no, I'm not going to tell you what the series is about overall, because, I don't roll like that. But he actually does give you a crucial clue, saying, basically, the series is about America. This is about America, it's about fathers, about brothers, about all these people in their relationships working together, and how they relate to each other. And that's a crucial clue as well, because the Minutemen, Minutemen and the Trust go way back to the basically when white people started taking over America back in the day. I mean, like you get to find out like what happened with the Jamestown colony, like why they disappeared, and why the word Croatoan was carved on one of the posts there. It's a great explanation. It shows you, and it's like, even if it's probably not true, but hey, it's like but for the purposes of the story, it's a great explanation. And it's basically showing you like what happens when when the older generation, when they've done their thing, they've made their mark, and then what are they going to do? How are they going to step aside in order that the younger generation rule? Now, my main complaint about the series at the end, it wraps up very well. On one hand, if you're really clever enough, you can see what's going on at the very end. But with the end though, it makes you want to see, what would happen if the older generation was actually clever enough to retain its power over the younger generation, not get destroyed in the process. Because you see this and you realize like the story couldn't have ended any other way, but as it is, it's kind of it is so kind of predictable, and like yeah, the ending is kind of an spoiler warning. I mean, it's an everyone dies ending. Well, most everyone dies because there are some people who realize like, you know what, like I'm killing people. That's not going to get you anywhere. So we just gotta call a timeout and just say, we're gonna just get the fuck away from this. Just end it and walk away. All the people who don't, they wind up dying. But still, I mean, the series is excellent overall. I mean, the first half, like issues 1 through 50, are basically like a long form version of the setup. I mean, you introduce Agent Graves, you introduce Dizzy, and then you get meet up with the rest of them who are going to be the Minutemen later on. But then like the second half basically shows you like Graves and the Trust working together, what their plans are, and like how it's going to play out in the end. And like I said, it's a series that requires like a lot of attention. I mean, it's like if you're not willing to look beyond the obvious, what's given to you from the very beginning, then you're not going to get a lot out of the series. Okay. But that being said, like I said, it's overall highly recommended. Go and buy all 12 volumes of it. It's like 13 volumes. Unlucky volume 13, because that's kind of bad shit the series rolls in. But Azzarello is like writing is great throughout. Eduardo Risso, the artist, guy's a fantastic artist in terms of just like drawing up all these characters, showing you showing emotion, showing action, and detailing all the violence that violence and sleaze these characters live in. I mean, it's fantastic stuff from volumes 1 to 13. The guy rocks the house from beginning to end.
I mean, I've never heard of this series or looked at it, but as I'm skimming through it, like the story seems really gritty and really realistic.
Yeah.
And Eduardo Risso, like his artistic style is just like, I wouldn't say it's like old school, but I mean it kind of has like that old comic book kind of style with like hard shadows and just vibrant like facial expressions as I'm skimming through, and I'm like, wow, this actually looks like something I would like sit down and read.
I mean, it's like he's great. Like one thing about art from DC Vertigo series, like it's not really about the detail; it's about the expression, like showing you like the emotion and character that's going on in the various series. But hey, Myron, for a second, I want you to look. You're looking at volume 1 right there.
Right.
I want you to look at volume 13 right here. I mean, you're not going to see any of the story, but I want you to look if you see anything different about that. You can volume 1 and 13 right there. Okay.
Oh yeah, wow. This one's like way more detailed.
Okay, because like you look at volume 13 right there, I want to point out what's appealing to you is that it's the color.
Yeah, I can see the transition of his artwork. Like, not only is it the color, but it's like his lines are way more defined in his characters.
Yeah, that's true too. That's true too. But the thing is, on the first 2 volumes were done by one colorist, Grant Golish, and like, well, I'll admit that like what he does in the first 2 volumes is exactly what you expect like a hard-boiled crime series to look like, like gritty, dark, muted colors, like someone wiped their ass with the color. With the papers going on there, but then in volume 3 they switched to a different colorist, Tricia Mulvihill, and she really brought out the colors in the series, because like I mean, this is something you wouldn't expect like a hard-boiled crime series to look like. I mean, like vibrant, like bright colors. I mean, to the point where like you lighten the colors, but like in the same time you're also deepening the shadows as well. It's like it looks much brighter, like on some levels more friendly, even at least. But then the contrast is still there. I mean, it's a much brighter world, but that's just making like while the brights look brighter, the darks look darker as well, and that adds immensely to the series' overall charm. And like, it's one of the probably the only time I've actually read a series where a colorist has really made that much impact on the overall feel of the series as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking through, and like, yeah, compared to the first volume to this one, it just like artistically it just looks like more vibrant and more. I mean, I'm not saying I wasn't paying attention to the other one, but this one just looks more like, I guess you'd say it looks more up to date.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's the difference between like what you expect the series to look like and then just like transcending your expectations for this kind of thing. I mean, and that's like I said, it's beautiful work by both by Risso primarily. I mean, if you had taken out the color, it still would have looked great. But just like the addition of color, especially Patricia Mulvihill's color, like, it's beautiful, great stuff. And like as with a lot of other stuff, I can't shut up about in this podcast. It's just one reason why you should just go ahead and check this series out, because it's first class from beginning to end. And oh yeah, the other thing about the series is that thankfully now that it's done, it's like you can just go and read volumes 1 through 13 all at once, because this is a series that you start reading it and you'll notice like, oh, there's stuff that happened in volume 1 that affects what happens in volume 4, and like further on as well. I mean, it's heavily serialized, so like, you start reading it all at once, and you'll notice like stuff that Azzarello like refers back to stuff that's happened in previous volumes on a regular basis. But that just adds to the fun. It's like the more you pay attention to the series, the more you're rewarded for it.
Right.
Yeah. So overall, it's like, yeah, it's like I'm a broken record here, but hey, it's great stuff. So go ahead and order all the volumes right now from your local comic shop or Amazon.com.
Is it just 13 volumes, 1 through 13?
Just 13 volumes. Like the one you hold in your hands right now, Wilt, is the last one.
Okay.
Yeah, and personally, it's like, I think it's a good ending, but I would like to see at some point, an epilogue. Mm-hmm. But I think if I've heard Azzarello say he might want to, he was having trouble letting go of his characters at the very end. So like, I just kind of like to see just an epilogue, just to see how the fallout from how things turned out in the final volume. But yeah. I'm gonna hold my breath on that one because I don't think it's coming anytime soon. And plus, I know Azzarello's got like other projects he's busy with as well.
Yeah, because this comic looks like it's like a raw, like kind of like that raw, gritty gangster.
Oh yeah.
Storyline. So like, if you're like into movies like Scarface or Goodfellas or any of those type of movies, like this looks like, or even like from even the first volume, it kind of reminded me of Menace to Society, like with that chick in jail.
Yeah.
Like this is something I want to check out and read myself.
Yeah, that's a very comparison right there, Myron.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but awesome. Yeah, so like I said, it's like, hey, go out, buy the series, enjoy it, and then
badass.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, but hey, on that note, we're gonna call it a night. We'll see you in 2 weeks from now, or so.
See you later.